Here we are back at the show.
This crowd is
just feel it. Yeah, just feel it out.
I want to see if anybody else is going to applaud. Then they'll go.
I pronounced one of our guests, the young gentleman from England, who is quite a singer. Very exciting that you will see tonight. His name is Gordino. I said Giordino. It's Peter Gordino.
Gordino.
He has 4 lovely young girls with him tonight that are going to dance. Yeah. Nice production number here tonight.
I saw one in makeup. A comely lassie. Blonde of coif. Rather clever of figure as well.
Oh, yes. Doc's going to be appearing this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Like you didn't know. Up at Magic Mountain.
Yeah.
With the Now Generation Brass and Today's Children, with the whole show. That he has successfully taken around the country and made a bundle with.
I'd like to mention that I'm going to be playing at Buffalo.
What?
It'd be nice if you'd mention I'm going to be at Melody Fair in Buffalo this weekend with my act.
You'll be in
Melody Fair in Buffalo.
New York?
Buffalo, New York. Yes, they haven't moved it, have they?
No, Buffalo. You're going to...
What are you going to be doing this weekend?
Well, now that you bring it up, I open Las Vegas Saturday night.
Well,
did you know that?
We can mention all that.
I do. Freddie DeCordova will be back here.
Right.
No, we open for 2 weeks at the Sahara Hotel Saturday night. You're going to be in Buffalo, Doc. It's nice, everybody.
Nice to know we're all working.
Did you see the Patsy Awards last night?
No.
They have a show, I guess it's televised nationally, called the Patsy Awards every year, where they give awards to outstanding animals, which strikes me kind of funny. I don't know why. That have been in motion pictures or, I guess, television the past year. And tragedy struck last night. I don't know whether you knew it right afterwards. Well, Ben the Rat won. Did you know that? Ben the Rat won an award.
Whoa.
And before he could accept, Morris the cat ate him. And then Morris was chased up a tree by a dog by the name of Farouk that also won up. The whole thing was a shambles. Betty White and Alan Ludden cried for a couple of days and just dissolved on them. Billy Graham, I like to count as a good friend. He certainly needs no laborious introduction. For the past, I guess, almost 2 decades, he has brought guidance and comfort to many, many millions of people of all faiths. Would you welcome, please, evangelist, author, educator, Dr. Billy Graham.
Well, that was quite a monologue, and I appreciated one thing about it. You've been reading the Bible, I see.
Occasionally.
You knew about the commandments.
Yes, I know. You know, I would sound awful, but if you ask me to name all 10 of them right now, and this probably sounds terrible, I would probably leave one out somewhere.
Oh, I think you could think of all of them.
Yeah,
because all of us have broken all of them. So I think we could figure them out.
Do you think everybody...
Everybody has broken every commandment, yes, sir. The Bible says if we break in one point, we're guilty of all.
Oh, I see.
And then when Jesus came after Moses, he explained that the 10 commandments can be broken in your heart by thought and intent. So in that sense, we're all guilty, and that's the reason the Bible says that everybody's a sinner. Even Ed is a sinner.
Well, that
comes as quite a surprise.
They could add, if there had been room on the tablets, they'd have put 4 more commandments on for him. Are you able to quote? I'm sure you are. I know some people who have memorized the entire Bible. I'm sure you have.
No, I have not.
Run across people that can do that.
I have memorized parts of it, but I met a man in Africa, an African in Nigeria, about 15 years ago, that had memorized the entire New Testament in 2 languages, English and his native language.
Well, that is incredible.
And I have met a number of people, not in America, but I've met a number of people in foreign countries that have memorized the entire Bible. I met several in Korea last week that had memorized the entire New Testament.
That's incredible. That requires some kind of almost special...
And there are, you know, and yet it's not so much because there are less words in the New Testament than in the average Sunday edition of the New York Times. And, you know, many people read the New York Times through every week. Well, you could read the New Testament through every week if you wanted to.
I didn't realize that. Do you like what they have done? Do you like the modern interpretations of the Bible? And I read that they're working on now more or less an updated version of the King James.
Yes, there are a number of, in fact, there's about one version, I'm told, a week coming out.
Right. Some biblical scholars seem to feel that it loses I guess, something in the modernization.
Well, it does in some areas, but in others it makes it clearer because you see, when Jesus and the other people in the Bible were speaking, they spoke the language of the people. We no longer speak that King James Version language, Elizabethan English. And many people don't understand the Bible just because they don't understand that language. It's no longer the language that America speaks, no longer the language that Britain speaks. I have people in areas where I come from, in North Carolina, up in the mountains, that some of them still speak Elizabethan English.
Is that true?
And some of those old hillbilly songs that we have are really from the old Scottish songs of 200 years ago.
You just mentioned Korea a moment ago. You've just been overseas and in Korea, and I understand the crowds were the largest you've practically ever played to in your life.
Well, they are probably the largest that anybody has ever spoken to in history, because the smallest crowd we had was 500,000. And the largest crowd was last Sunday afternoon. We had 1,100,000 in one service. And that was so incredible that I could hardly take it in.
Now, you're not talking about television, are you?
No.
Really? I mean, an actual mass
crowd.
of people.
We had 7 cameras on it. We have pictures of it, and it will be on television soon.
Well, we have some film excerpts, I think, of this crusade that you've made overseas. That is incredible. It's got to be a overwhelming feeling to stand up in front of a crowd.
Well, a historian told me the other day that the nearest that he knows in history was Dwight Eisenhower when he went to India in, I forgot what year, I think it was 55, and had about 800,000 that he spoke to at one time. But this crowd was electronically counted, and the organizers that counted it had a very ingenious way in which they counted. And so I would say it was fairly accurate. It might have been under or over. Some people thought it was over, some under. But it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 million people.
That's incredible. Can we show some of these? We have a short film clip here. I believe this was shot in Seoul, Korea.
Seoul, Korea, that's correct.
And
I haven't seen this film.
Billy, you can comment on it.
That is our arrival at the airport. My wife and I are arriving at the Seoul airport about 2 weeks ago. And that is my wife, and they came out with all their flags, and a choir sang. They
Was
had
this your
government
first,
officials. No, I was in Korea during the war, the
Right.
Korean War, about 22 years ago, and spoke to people. Now, these are people here that when all-night prayer meetings, they stayed up all night to pray, and every church in Korea has a prayer meeting at 4:30 in the morning. And the Korean church is growing. Now, there's my wife and me in the plaza, which is 1 mile long, a paved strip, 1 mile long and about 1/4 mile wide. And we're talking on the day before the meetings begin. That's where the people are going to come, and they've marked it off so they can count the people. You see, each area there seats 4,000 in each square, and they marked it off so they count. Now, this is the last day where the 1 million people, now it fades into the background, the millions. They're in an airplane taking this quite some distance
I can see the
up.
crowd right in the middle.
And these are the people gathering. They started gathering several hours early, and in fact, many people were there all night. Thousands were there all night, spending the night so they could get a front seat. And they sat so close together. These are the people still coming together. And it was a fantastic sight for us. I had never seen so many people together anywhere, of course, in the world, and it was very much like talking on radio, because the people couldn't see me, and all I could see was a mass of faces, and that goes on for 1 mile in each direction.
Is that the interpreter now?
That is the interpreter. I say a phrase, and he says a phrase. I say God is love, he said God is love. I say God is great, he says God is great. And we go 1, 2, 1, 2, that quick. And he is very fast and very good. And the people listened, and they responded. And as I said, the church in Korea is growing 4 times faster than the population. Now, there I am leaving by helicopter, and they are waving goodbye to me with their programs.
Look at that.
1 million people saying goodbye to us.
That is
a very moving
incredible
sight.
scene. That's an incredible scene.
There's a great religious revival on all through the Far East. And as a matter of fact, I think the center and the gravitational center of Christianity is shifting now to the Far East. And this is happening in areas in Japan, in Thailand, in the Philippines, in Indonesia, more in Indonesia than any other country.
How do you account for that?
Well, Christianity began in the Middle East. It went to North Africa, then it went to Europe, then it shifted to America in the last century, and now it's moving to the Far East where it's never had much of a grip.
Well, they say history runs in cycles, and they're like all major countries have their particular decade or
That's right.
generation, and it revolves in kind of a historical cycle.
Well, my wife was born and reared in China.
That's what I heard.
And she had never been back to the Far East since then, since she was 17. And it was a very moving experience for her. She went to school in Korea, up in the North Korea, in Pyongyang. And it was a tremendous thing to see those people and the dedication and the discipline. They study. They get up early in the morning to pray. There are 1,500 Protestant churches in Seoul alone. And it's unbelievable what's happened in the last 5 years.
It was an incredible film. Let me interrupt for a second. Forgive me, but we will be right back after this word. Welcome back. We're talking with Dr. Billy Graham. I always look forward to your visits on our show because I feel I can ask you questions, personal questions, which I'm sure a lot of people would ask around the country, and I always try to project myself and what you must be asked as you travel around. Do you ever think about death at all? I mean, does any fear of it? You read about so many people nowadays that seem to be so uptight about it, and I saw a program the other night about it where doctors were trying to prepare. Doctors had no preparation in how to treat patients that were, for example, terminal, and they found that people went through various stages about death. But I wonder, as a healthy man, we all think about it occasionally, but I wonder if you ever think about it and have any fear of it.
I think we think about it a great deal, Johnny, more than we admit, because the University of Louisville did a study some time ago of university and college young people, and the number one subject that they think about between the ages of 18 and 22 is sex. And I believe it was about every 3 to 5 minutes they think about sex. And then the second
time
subject,
interval has broadened out since I was in school.
the second subject that they think about most is death. And that comes about every 4 to 5 minutes. A person at that age level thinks about death.
That's incredible.
And the suicide rate, for example, among students, as you know, is very high throughout the world, in Japan or in Sweden or in the United States, all over the world. And young people do think about death, as well as older people. And it's going to happen to all of us, and yet we hate to face it. And I think that the subject of death has been suppressed in our generation, very much like sex was in the 19th century, the discussion of it. We buried it. We made out like it didn't exist.
Well, I got in some trouble a few weeks ago because with the morticians around the country, because I was talking about death and the fact that we tell children that the grandfather has just gone away and he is sleeping and so forth, rather than telling children exactly what does happen and about the high cost of funerals and the pomp that goes with it, and they kind of got on me.
But you know, the fear of death is gone when a person, when I found Christ as my Lord and my Savior, the fear of death was taken away, and now I'm just as certain that when I die, that I'm going into another world that's just as real as this one, that it's helped me to face life here and now.
That was my question. What do you envision after
That's right. Well, I envision heaven. And I'm not going there because I've preached to a lot of people. I'm not going there because I've read the Bible. I'm not going there because I'm good. I'm going there because of what Christ did for me on the cross. I'm saved by the grace of God. Now, the word grace carries with it the idea that I don't deserve it. I can't buy my way. I can't work my way. I'm a sinner, just like you, and just like Ed.
And you folks. Excuse me for interrupting. It's terrible. I hate to stop when we're just starting here, but please stay with us, and as soon as we get this out of the way, we'll come back and continue. And now a word from Doc about the American Motors Gremlin. Welcome back. We're talking with Billy Graham. Well, you were right in the midst of talking about when people die, rather than use the euphemism passing away or gone to your just reward. The correct word is die. So you have no fear because you've accepted, you said Christ is your Savior, and you have absolutely no fear. But when you said, and I think it may sound like a childish question, but I think even adults ask themselves, you envision life somewhat as it is here on earth, and that's very difficult for the average person to visualize at all.
I think that's the only thing, the only point of reference really that we have to go by is on earth, because we don't know. The Bible teaches that we are going to have a body, and it's going to be a body like that of Christ. The Bible teaches that the ultimate goal of the true believer is going to be a place called heaven or paradise. It's not going to be a place where we sit under palm trees and have a beautiful girl fan us, as some people envision heaven. It's going to be a place where we work. And I think that we are going to be able to go from planet to planet and from one part of the universe to the other, and I think we're going to be able to go as fast as thought. And I think we're going to have other worlds to conquer. We're going to have tremendous enterprises that we're going to do on other planets. And I think there are many indications in the Bible about this. We're not going to go and just sit down and rest and relax. Now, the first few years, I'd like to rest a while and play a little golf.
Sure.
And I hope they have golf balls and
They have
the
a
whole
great
thing
course.
up there.
They have a great course.
Because I'll miss it if we don't. But I asked my wife one day, who's a great student of the Bible, I said, Ruth, do you think there's going to be golf in heaven? She gave a marvelous reply. She said, if golf is important for your happiness, it'll be there.
Can't argue with that. Do you also envision for the sinner that, say, doesn't accept in the Christian religion Christ as your Savior, that there is purgatory, per se? Do you think there's that kind of a God that would condemn or damn people? But when children grow up, you know, they are told this very often. You be good, you go to heaven. And that's the child's concept of heaven, is sitting around on a cloud. Mm-hmm. If you are bad, you will be punished. And that's kind of a frightening concept for a young mind to grab a hold of.
It is frightening, and it should be. I think that the Bible says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And we have a false concept of God. God is a God of holiness. He's a God of righteousness. He's a God of judgment. And a person who faces Christ straight out and deliberately rejects him, that person is in a totally different category than the person in the middle of China that never had a chance and never heard. The person who deliberately rejects is going to pay a fearful price. Now, Jesus used a number of words to describe it. So does the Old Testament. The prophets used it. It's called punishment. It's called condemnation. It's called Hades. It's called all sorts of things. Whatever it is, and I'm not prepared to say what it is, but what it is, it's separation from God, and that in itself will be hell. Because you take in this life, if you live this life totally separated from God, from all love and all joy and all peace and all satisfaction, that would be hell in this world. So in a sense, the person who doesn't know God here is already in a sense in hell. Mm-hmm. And that will be extended into the future life, according to the Bible. And I think it is something to contemplate. I think that we're taught that fear is very important. I teach my children that to watch out for rattlesnakes, because we have a lot where I live. I teach them to be careful in traffic. My son flies an airplane. I always say, be careful when you go up there. I want him to have a certain amount of tension and fear as he's flying, mm-hmm. so that he doesn't have a wreck and kill himself. And there is a legitimate fear. And I think we should face squarely who God is and what he demands of us.
Do you feel sorry for people who espouse the atheistic philosophy and live their life and say, all right, I'm not rejecting God, they just live their life as if God does not exist, and they go their way and do their thing?
Well, I would, 99% of the American people say they believe in God, mm-hmm. according to the Catholic Digest. But there are millions of what I would call practical atheists. They say with their mind they believe in God. Something inside says, well, there must be a God, but they live as though there is no God. Mm-hmm. And so in a sense, that is a form of atheism. And to those people, I think that's a very dangerous life.
Yeah. Can I ask you a personal question now? And I'm not asking this as a shock value, because I'm sure as someone who goes all around the world, you're from that. Have you ever seen an X-rated movie? I don't mean that to put you on the spot, but it's so much in the news, and it has so much to do, a lot of people think, with morality or a lessening of morality in the country. And I just wondered, as somebody who preaches the gospel in your line of work, that you would have to see it to be able to be informed.
Well, I have seen several R-rated movies. I saw 2 in a hotel where you call down and order room service, and they turn it on your television screen.
I didn't know that.
And I went to see. I saw one with my son in London. He wanted to see one that he said was a marvelous picture about motorcycles. And it was called The Mechanic. I found out that it had nothing to do with motorcycles. And it was AAA rated in London. That was supposed to be excellent, but they killed people in every way possible. I think that you can kill, and people died in every way possible you can die. And the the R-rated in this country, I think, would come from the violence rather than sex. There was no sex in the picture.
Right. Would you say...
I don't make it a practice to go see it.
Oh, I didn't mean it that way. I think what I was trying to draw, do you think that, say, a young person, and using, they'll say the word normal, I'm not talking about the average young person, would be more adversely affected by exposure to an explicit sexual film than he would to excessive violence in a film where, as you say, that there is killing and murder and garrotings and so forth for no rhyme or reason? Which of those do you think would affect him or harm him the most? Do you think?
I think both would harm him. I think that I wouldn't be prepared to say which would be the worst. I think the violence that we're seeing in some of our pictures today is having a devastating effect on people. It can't help but have it. I think that we're seeing it in the generation that we're growing up in today. This is the first generation that is a television-reared generation. Now, this is not against television. Right. I'm for television. I use television. It's the greatest means of communication we've ever had. But just like atomic energy, you can use it for good or you can use it for bad. And I think that a great deal of what we see today, especially in the motion pictures, they're trying to get more pornographic and more violent to attract people back to the theater. But I think that we have seen in Sound of Music or the Walt Disney films that you can make great motion pictures and make a lot of money and be clean. And I think that there is a swing back in that direction. I was reading the other day, I think it was Frances Langford or some former film star who said that she wasn't going back to see any motion pictures till they cleaned up. And I think that when we say clean up, we think in terms of sex, but I say in terms of violence. Right. The violence, I think, is helping to create a great deal of the violence in our society. And I would like to see some good, clean, honest, great motion pictures like we used to have.
Yeah, maybe it'll come about. I hope.
You know, if you want to see a good movie now, you have to wait and see something on The Late Show maybe and see something that was made about 25 or 30 years ago.
They're all playing, too. What's the most often single question you're asked?
I suppose that the one that I would be asked the most is, how do I find God? I think that more people write me or ask me that question than any other question. I would say the greatest problem people write me about is loneliness. I think loneliness is probably the greatest problem in America as far as the psychological problem that people face.
From both young and old?
From both young and old. You can be lonely in a crowd, and psychologists have begun to call it cosmic loneliness. In other words, I can be in a party, having a big time, and all of a sudden, for just a moment or two, there sweeps over me a sense of loneliness. And I personally believe this is a loneliness for God. We're made for God, and without God, we have a loneliness. There's a dissatisfaction, and we never find it. No matter how powerful or how rich or what pleasures we have, there's something empty there that only God can fill.
You were just telling me during a break your schedule coming up, which is incredible. You leave tomorrow, I believe, for Atlanta?
Yes, I'm going to Atlanta, and we open in Atlanta next Monday night in the Atlanta Stadium where the Falcons and the Braves play, and we'll be there for a week. And then I go to Minneapolis for a crusade in the fairgrounds, and then I go to Israel and to Jordan, and then to London for a crusade in August, and then in September in the University area of North Carolina in the stadium, and then to St. Louis, and so on and so on.
Just fantastic. Well, I hope between one of those trips you will drop by and see us again.
And sometime we'd like to have you and Ed come to one of our crusades.
We could probably use it, Billy. Badly. Get us before it's too late. Thanks for being here.
All right, now, folks, we read about my first guest tonight in a local Kansas newspaper, and she sounded like a more than remarkable woman. She's 105 years old. We thought you might like to meet her. She's from Ellsworth, Kansas. Would you welcome, please, Mildred Holt. Mildred? How are you, dear?
Fine. I remember when you were in New York.
You do?
Yeah.
You watched the
Me
show?
too.
Yeah, we started the show in New
Yeah,
York.
you sure did.
Yeah.
I remember both of you.
You remember-
I watched you every time you put the show on.
Yeah, you can remember all the way back to 1962,
You
huh?
bet.
Now tell me, so are you really? You don't look. Oh, come on, I don't know what somebody 105 is supposed to look like.
You look better than I saw you then.
Yeah. You must have been out nightclubbing someplace in New York at that time. Now, are you really 105? 105 years old. When were you born?
1882. How many have you had that are over 105?
You're the oldest person I have ever met and ever had on this
That's
show.
the way it is at home. I'm always the oldest one they ever met.
Somebody told me you wanted to ask me some questions. Is there?
Well, I hear you've had, what, 3, 4 wives.
Well,
That's great.
Really?
Good for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mildred. I appreciate that because I don't know. I guess maybe I've just been unlucky in marriage or something.
I know.
And I just keep trying.
I know when you were in New York. I know when he was in New York.
Right.
I know when you left New York.
Yeah.
So my mind's still working a little bit.
Oh, yeah, your mind is working fine. Yeah. Do you have any brothers? Were you born in Kansas?
Brothers?
No, you have brothers and sisters?
They were 6 girls and 3 boys.
Yeah.
I was the youngest girl.
You were?
They've all died years ago.
Yeah.
I outlive them all. I'm
sure?
too mean to die.
Well, you're too mean to die. Well, you come from a big... I'm from Nebraska, you know.
I know. I know when you were in Nebraska.
And you remember when I was in New York, too. Yeah.
I remember the show you put on Nebraska.
Oh, yeah, I had a show there, a local show in
Yeah.
Omaha and Lincoln. Now,
And Nebraska's right next to Kansas.
yeah, we're...
You can't say anything about Kansas tonight.
No, Kansas, good state. Good state.
I met a man at the hotel, and he said, "Where are you from?" I said, "Kansas." He said, "Oh, my goodness." That made me mad.
Well, he's some... Definitely not a nice person to say that.
I thought that was awful.
Yeah.
He forgets that Kansas produces more wheat than any state in the Union.
Absolutely. That's right.
That's where your bread comes from.
Yes, the breadbasket of the country is in Kansas. Did you know that most people...
Of course, the trouble is they can't get any money for the wheat.
She likes people closer to her in old age. She's talking to you. Well, Nebraska produces a lot of corn.
Oh, I know they do.
A lot of corn.
And they just had a 7-inch rain
Really?
yesterday.
Did they need it? Yeah, pretty dry?
I don't think they needed it.
Yeah.
We don't need it either. When we left Wichita, all the streets were flooded.
Yeah. Well, that's enough rain then for a while, right? What's the first thing you remember as a child? How far back do you really remember?
Well, I remember our first automobile was 1914. And the first plane, I don't remember when the first plane came out. Must have been
early 1900s, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Did you ever fly in an airplane?
Yes,
you flew
all
out
the
here.
time. Every time I get a chance.
Yeah.
I'd fly to Birmingham, Alabama, where my daughter lives, and 8 grandchildren.
Now, how old's your daughter now?
That one is 46.
46. What's
My
your...
youngest one. I have a son that's 80, and
How is Sonny anyway? Is he doing all right?
well, he took me to the airport and put me on.
Okay, I tell you what, we're going to take a pause. You know, we have to stop occasionally for a commercial.
you do.
You know we do. Then we're going to come back and we'll talk some
Yeah.
more, huh? Okay, you're fun. All right, we'll be right back. Stay where you are. Okay, we're back now. If you just joined us, we're talking with, may I call you Mildred?
Yeah,
Mildred
sure,
Holt from
I like that.
Ellsworth, Kansas, 105 years old. And we asked Mildred if she would like a little drink or a little water or something, and you said you'd like a highball. Now, that's Midwestern expression,
That's
for
right.
sure. That's a Midwestern expression.
That's right.
Do you have a little taste of,
I wish you would.
can I see what you drink?
Sure. I'd like to have you drink most of it.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
We don't get it at home in Kansas.
You don't get it? Is Kansas still
Not
dry?
very often.
Oh.
They have wine and beer, and I don't like either one.
Yeah.
And I don't have this very often, just for a dinner party.
So when you get out of states, it's
You
walk off.
bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You be staying here long, will you, Mildred?
Act up when I get out.
She knows a drinker when she sees one, too. Well, that's good. I think a little alcohol is good for the blood.
I know it is.
It's a blood thinner. And they say a certain amount is good. So,
Gives you a little pep.
you betcha.
You bet.
What's an average day for you like? What time do you get up in the morning?
I get up at 8.
8 o'clock.
I eat my breakfast. I dress and then go eat my breakfast. Then I go shopping.
Yeah. You
And
eat your
I
breakfast
get-
before you dress?
No, I come down all dressed
Oh, okay.
every morning and eat my breakfast. Grapefruit, coffee, toast, sometimes eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And then I make out my list and go shopping and buy what I need, meat and potatoes and fruit and
Booze.
so on and so forth.
You don't drive a car, do you?
No, I had to quit 2 years ago, and that broke
They made you quit driving when you were 103?
Yeah.
Why
you
did they-
know why?
No.
One car died on me. It just it was worn out, and
Yeah.
I bought a Chevy with steering brakes and all that. I wasn't used to it.
Yeah.
I had my son-in-law in with me. We started out. Here was a stop sign.
Yeah.
Here was my car, and one back of me. I threw the brake on, threw him up against the windshield. He said, "You're going to kill somebody or
Yeah.
yourself."
Yeah, well, you had those new power brakes.
Yeah,
You
power brakes. I took the car home, put a sign up for sale.
Yeah. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be here today.
Yeah. Your passengers wouldn't be here today for sure. Somebody said you like to play cards.
I love to
What do you play,
play
bridge,
cards,
poker,
and
or
I
what?
always play to win.
You do. What do you play? Bridge, poker?
I play bridge, pitch, and some penny ante.
Yeah.
But mostly bridge. I belong to a duplicate club, and they're all listening tonight.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Well, good for them. Good for them.
I think I'm shocking you.
Do you watch television at all?
All the time.
Yeah.
I watch 60 Minutes.
That's good.
As the world turns, but I get provoked with them.
You get provoked?
Too much kissing.
Too much
and-
kissing. Do you think there's too much sexual type of
I
things on
do.
television?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm too old to like that.
Well, what do you think about nudity in movies? They have motion pictures
I don't
now.
like it.
You don't care for it?
No.
Yeah. You wouldn't go to see a picture where?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Well,
What's... What do you... Now, are you familiar with Jim and Tammy Baker?
oh, I don't like him at all. They ought to string him up.
You ought to string him up, huh? Well, that's might be a little going overboard, but don't... How about the president? The President Reagan?
I like President Reagan.
Good.
But since he's had so many nose operations, he's not quite as good as he was.
Or you think because of
Yeah.
too much surgery on his nose?
I think his first 4 years were great. Of course, I am a Republican.
Oh, you are, huh? Who was the first candidate you ever voted for? Do you remember?
Theodore, let's see, the first one is Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt.
And he was a marvelous person.
He was a good president.
He
huh?
went to Spain and won the war in a month.
That's right. Yeah. Well,
I had a boyfriend, 16, 18, that was going to go, and I thought, oh my, how terrible. But it was all over in a month.
yeah. Was that the fellow you married?
No, I married William Holt from West Virginia, and he's a spinning age of President Wilson, but much better looking.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, your husband's
Really,
not.
the two of them look just alike.
Yeah. Your husband's not still living, is he?
No, he died 22 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've battled my life ever since.
Did you ever think of remarrying?
No.
Well, you thought it was all right
Never
for.
had a chance.
Never had a chance. Well, you thought it was all right for me to get remarried.
It is, because you're young.
Yeah.
I'm old.
Well, you're a remarkable old person. If there's
You
any.
never had anyone so old.
No. Yeah, I guess you're right there, Mildred. When's the last time you were in California? Have you been to California before?
Oh, yes. My sister lived in Long Beach.
Uh-huh.
That was, 25 years ago, and I'd come out, and then I visited in Fresno.
Mm-hmm.
I had Rockefeller, the rich Rockefeller daughter, or granddaughter, or cousin, or something. I'd come visit her.
Yeah.
Because they used to live in Kansas.
I see.
They owned a ranch there.
I see.
Then I visited San Francisco once, a PEO convention.
Yeah.
Maybe you have PEOs here tonight.
Is that the Elks you're talking?
That's a great organization that put girls through college.
Oh, I wasn't familiar with that. Well, you're a remarkable lady, and it's nice to have you out here with us.
Thank you. And
Are you going to watch our show occasionally from time to time?
am. And I watched it until I decided I better go to bed at 10 o'clock. Get my rest.
Get your rest. Well, it's nice having you out here, Mildred. Are you going to stay a few days in California?
Going to Kansas tomorrow.
Going to Kansas tomorrow. Well, you take this with you. But thank you for being with us. You're a lovely lady. You stay right there. We'll be back in a moment.
We are back. I just explained to Ricardo, I don't want you to think that I'm cutting our conversation short tonight because I admire you too much, but we got a little behind time, and I wanted to devote a little time to this gentleman, which I think, I've been reading a lot of research on him, from the Stanford Research Institute and from the science section of the New York Times, a lot of publicity on this gentleman whose name is Uri, U-R-I, Uri Geller. He is from Israel, and he's been the subject of a lot of study and quite a bit of controversy. He says that he claims to have been born, as I understand it, with the power of having psychokinetic ability, which is the movement of objects by sometimes not touching them by the mind, but without any physical touching of the objects. He has been on shows where objects have bent, things have broken just by touching them. And he's most interesting. And I tend to be sometimes skeptical, which may not be fair to him. You should probably have an open mind on this. But I would like to mention that he will be at Houston, Texas on September the 20th, and New York City's Town Hall on the 25th. And we hope we're going to see some rather astounding things tonight. Would you welcome, please, Uri Geller. Nice to see you.
Thanks.
We have only met...
This scares me.
This scares you? Well, this is we just got some things together here, and as I said, as you progress and do what you want to do tonight, well, you can tell us what you would like to try, and we'll leave it up to you.
I'll try when I'll really feel up to it, okay?
That's what I understand. I have seen you on television before, and you say that sometimes you have to be in a certain frame of mind. You sometimes will pass on a particular experiment because you're honest and say, I don't feel it, or I am not getting the thought. Is that true?
That's true. I really have to be in the mood to do things and have them happen.
Mm-hmm.
and many times nothing really happens.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if I'm in front of 3,000 people or 10 people, I do my best. And of course, I'm really talking about time now. For instance, if I had time to bend a nail, an hour, 2 hours, or unlimited time, then it'll happen in the end. And it's really not only up to my mood, but up to the people who are, watching it and wanting it to happen. And that's it.
Now, a lot of people, you run into this, I'm sure, all the time. Most people, if they don't understand something, tend to be very skeptical.
Yes.
It's the unknown. People always kind of fear sometimes the
Right.
unknown. You say, of course, there's not any trickery involved in this. This is some kind of ability, or I think as you phrase it, a strength or power that seems to come to you or given to you.
I call it a sort of a power. I have no specific name for it. I know that things that are moved without touching them or bent are called psychokinesis.
Right.
And telepathy is telepathy. But there are no tricks here. If I do it, it's done with real powers.
Do you know of any other cases such as yours?
Well, I heard of many people who do telepathy, but you see, I'm also a skeptic. I mean, for instance, if you'll tell me that there is somebody you know and does it, I'll also want to see to believe. Yes, I'm sure there are other people. I do not know if there are people who can bend them or break things, but I'm sure I'm not the only one. Maybe there are many people who have these powers and do not know of them, and it did not develop in them.
You are not saying, now, for example, people have always said a true test would be, I'm going to think of something, and the person turns around and says, you are thinking of. Then now, that would be incredible, would it not? If I had a particular thought in my mind or a particular episode that happened and someone could tell me.
That's incredible. That's reading your mind constantly. I cannot do that. You see, I can only do things that you really concentrate on, studied it before, and really project it to me. I cannot sit right here or near you and know exactly what you're thinking about. I wish I could, but that's...
Now, this just means we're cutting away for a second because we get a little behind time, but we're going to have, I think, adequate time for you to try what you would like to try tonight, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back. Here is the Cure ad, the bandage that sticks to its job. Watch. If you have just joined us, we are talking with Uri Geller, who claims and has performed some very astounding feats. We have a variety of objects sitting here. We have also, as per your request earlier this afternoon, and if you want to try that or whenever you feel like it, one of our staff members did some drawings which have been sealed in an envelope, and I'd like you to take your own pace when you feel like you want to try anything.
Right.
Do you want to try that particular experiment first?
When I'll feel free.
When
Okay?
Sure. And now these objects out here are, we have some nails, we have some keys, we have, as you can see, some forks, we have some aluminum canisters. These are the type of aluminum canisters I guess a roll of film would come in. All of these objects have been supplied by us. You did not bring anything here at all. We have a small, what you would call a file box with a die in it, which I understand sometimes someone can place the die in the box and shake it up, and you have a very good law of averages in naming the number that is on the top spot of the die without touching the box or opening it whatsoever.
matter.
So, would you like to try anything here?
Why don't you ask me more questions?
Want me to ask you some more questions? You have to kind
May
of
I
work
ask,
in.
when did you discover this power, Uri?
Well, I think I was really born with this power, and
But when did you discover
the
it?
first time I was about 7 years old, the psychokinesis power, I would concentrate on my wristwatch, and I could move the hands of the watch just by concentration. Just move them to a completely different hour.
You know,
And
watch would
then-
move to a different hour just by...
Yeah, a complete different hour. But then it wasn't always under my control. And then I noticed that later, I mean, it didn't happen all the same day, that one of the hands is bent inside the watch, which you cannot touch by hand. And that was the first time I ever discovered that these powers exist, and I sort of have them and can control them.
Are you feeling in the mood yet? Huh?
Wow.
More questions?
All right, let's...
What's the capital of South Dakota? No, I don't mean to press you.
Okay, let me see. As you know, I told your people what to bring. One of the experiments I did at SRI is finding a hidden object in 10 cans, of course. I did it repeatedly all the time.
Right. And we have 10 aluminum
yeah.
cans there and 10 over
I
here.
was already trying to concentrate on them, so I'll take.
And since
I'll
we
try
ha-
the water.
Now, since we have been gone, let me explain to the audience at home that he has not touched these objects in any way. They were brought over here by our property man. The table was placed here, and while we have been away, you have not touched them in any manner. I will verify that.
So I'll just move my hands over them, and if I'll feel for.
And one of them contains water
I
of
like
the 10.
to do it the way we'll start eliminating the ones that do not have the water. That's the way I did it at SRI. That's the way I'll try to do it here,
All right, without touching them.
without touching them, of course.
All right.
Why don't you pick out when I say take this out,
I
take
take
it out.
Right,
so
of course.
that means there's no water in that. I'll try to go down. Now, what I do now is try to have a sort of a feeling where the water is.
Now, you're not touching them at all.
You can see that I'm not.
Well, I don't trust me.
Okay, take this one out. There's no water in. Uh-oh. Careful. You must.
Sorry.
Wait, pick them very
Very
delicately
carefully,
up.
right.
Some people call it a sort of a water roulette. But pick gently the middle one out without touching
Take the
anyone.
middle one out. Remove that. Obviously, that is empty. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I did not mean to do that. I was trying to move over to get a better look.
He is really suspicious, I'm having a hard time with you.
I don't mean to be, Yuri. I really
No,
don't.
just keep looking. And I'm telling the viewers, if I miss, then I miss. I won't pass here. Usually I pass if I don't feel for it. But if I'm wrong, then I'll be wrong. I'll also be a little disappointed, but that's the way it goes if I'm pressed. See, Johnny, what happens here, you can see that there's nothing put on here. I'm not
Yes, I understand.
trying to make it longer. I'm trying to feel. If there's no feeling, then I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Wait. Okay, let me rest a little, all right?
All right.
I'm surprised because before this program, your producer came and he read me at least 40 questions you're going to ask me.
Well, I can ask you all kinds of questions if you'd like. If you'd like me to ask
No,
you questions.
I have to have time, and give me a little more time.
All right. Now we're
We're not gonna
we'll
touch it.
we'll cut
We're
away
not
from a
gonna
commercial, and I will verify, and everybody in the studio will verify that
Okay.
nobody will touch the objects. Okay?
Right.
Because I don't want to push it on that, but obviously we don't have unlimited time
I know
on a
that.
television show. I wish we did.
Okay.
Which one is the breast? Do you find your meals too routine? Watch closely and see how dinner can turn into a barrel of fun. We are back. How are you feeling, Ray?
Fine. I feel fine myself.
In other words, this is something you just have to feel, and you can't be pressed on
That's it. It can be pressed, and I'm sorry if. That's it. Okay. Eliminate this one also.
it. Eliminate that one.
Good.
All right.
I already had my feeling on the first one. I feel something from it, but
You're not
I'm
sure.
not sure.
All right, you've got 7 more there.
Yuri,
Yeah.
let me ask you something. If someone, suppose I felt that also, is that a supporting thing?
No, you see, because I have to come down to it myself. I mean, you can't choose for me. You see, there's actually, again, I'm saying there's no guesswork here.
But you mentioned something. You said if the audience helps you concentrate, if they help you think about
Oh yeah,
this.
it helps. I mean, it helps to a limited extent, but I am the one who will have to choose from here, not you.
Now, so in these demonstrations, Yuri, very
Yes.
often you say you do fail.
Oh, well, you
And
see.
do the audiences accept
let me tell you this.
Do they accept it?
Yes, you see, I don't force anybody to. First of all, I don't force anybody to come to my appearances and believe me. You see, there it is, and I'm trying to do and succeed. Usually, of course, I don't walk into an audience and they tell me, "Here, we laid down 20 cans, find it." I can't work that way. Neither at where I do the experiments. I have time. I sit down. You feel, do it. Now, in an audience, I feel much more free. I know that nothing will happen to me if it won't happen, but really to my...
Would you like to go on to the other experiment, the one where we made the... someone drew an object and it's double sealed in the envelope, or would you like to continue with this?
Well, let me try. This one is not over yet. I'm going to
No,
come
it's
back
sure
to it.
not.
Can you take this spoon in your hand?
Put this spoon in my hand. This one.
Take it and hold it like that. Hold it no, open it and put your other hand on it, gently, like that. Or I won't touch this. No, turn it back. Other we lift your hand, and lift your hand and put your finger here. Now, I'll put my hand over your finger. Tell me if you feel, and press it like, feel the whole, tell me if you feel anything coming from my hand. You have here something written on your hand.
Yeah.
Is
It was
that
a name that I didn't
remember?
want to forget, yes. That I never used.
I hope I won't bend this man, whoever he is. What I'm trying to do is bend the spoon under his finger. Wherever.
I feel heat.
Good. Heat is usual. I mean, everybody has a sort of a body heat coming. Tell me if you feel anything. Tell me if you feel your hand somehow sinking into it gently. And I'm not touching him.
Yes.
Good. Okay, gently lift, I'll hold it here, gently lift up, you see if it's bent there. Yes.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yes, it's bending more. Can you see it?
It is very much bent, I can say.
Well, where?
It was very
Now,
straight.
no, it was straight. I hope the camera can focus on this. Oh, it's.
It does look like there's a slight
No,
bend in
it'll
it.
keep bending. It bends more. Usually, it bends more after it happens. And this is this is one of the thickest point of the spoon. Well, you can definitely see and feel it. And you felt it.
Yes, I
sinking
did.
somehow.
Yes, I did.
Okay, now, of course, this is not a big bend, Johnny. Before the show, one of your video man brought me a key, and I did it for him, completely bent to, I'd say,
He showed it to me,
40
yeah.
degrees. But there, I'll put it here, and it'll keep going. Look,
Do we have
there
to-
I had no,
Can we cut away again and still come back here?
yeah,
Okay, we'll be right back after another word from one of our sponsors. Art, we are back. Your Uri was telling me you don't feel what, strong tonight?
I don't
Is that
feel strong. It's not all tonight. Right now, I'm feeling being pressed, and then I can't.
Well,
I
I'm not
can't
trying
do
to
my
press
thing.
you. I really not.
No, you're only telling me, well, will you try that or that or that?
Well, I thought that was the idea of. No, I'm not. No, I'm not trying to put you down. I didn't mean that patronizingly at all, because I have seen you on shows, and I thought the idea was to show, if you possibly could, some of the things that you claim you can do. And I certainly don't want to press you. And if you don't feel like you can't do it tonight, or don't wish to try, I certainly don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. I'm not trying to be skeptical. I would love to see these things. I really would.
Right.
Is there anything else that appeals to you? Now, if I'm pressing again, Well, for example, now you asked us before the show and this afternoon for one of our staff members to draw on a couple of cards and seal them in an envelope, which we have done.
Yes. Well, let me tell you again. This didn't bend much, and right now here I'm stuck. I don't feel for it more, so I don't want to be stuck either on an envelope. I'd rather tell you that many people are skeptical about these things. They see something happening, and then they want to see it closer and closer. There have been many people running and saying that they can duplicate what I do. Well, I can only say that if I'm on stage and people see me from far, they can always say that there is some sort of a sleight of hand or trickery here.
That's true.
But I've been working with science quite a lot, and by doing what you see here under controlled conditions, because this is not a controlled condition.
And what do you mean?
Well, this is not a controlled condition. What I mean is, for instance, in experiments, it's covered with bell jars, and there are cameras running, and many scientists looking at every point, although you're trying to do the same, but this is really not a controlled condition. But again, it's quite difficult for me, and I won't go on something that I don't feel strong for.
All right. Well, it doesn't leave us much, does it?
We do have 3 empty canisters.
Yep, we have 3 empty canisters there, and we have 7 over here,
And the bent spoon.
and a spoon that's got a slight bend in it. No, I'm not trying to be
It's all right.
patronizing at all. I wanted this to be a great success
Johnny,
tonight
I feel
for you.
very good. I feel very good.
Okay, we'll take a break and we'll come right back. Well, Uri, I don't want you to feel bad about this tonight. The monologue doesn't work every night either. And maybe
Thank
it's...
you. I don't feel bad about it. It
maybe
happens to me not once, but it happens quite a lot when I cannot perform and do things.
Would you like to try it again some evening if you want to?
Yeah, I
mean,
guess,
you could. I'll be happy to extend an invitation to you.
You know, Johnny, just to finish that, this was quite an important appearance for me here tonight. And really, in other places, I felt real good. And I knew I could perform things. Because maybe this was and is an important appearance for me tonight, I might be blocking myself. And I want to tell you, you know, people ask me, are you nervous before coming in and sitting here? I was very nervous tonight, really. Maybe I can say my first time that I was really nervous appearing. I heard about you when I was a little kid in Israel. So
Well, look,
for me, it was important.
We'll love to have you come back again sometime.
Okay, thank you.
Really?
And don't be disappointed.
I will.
I'm not.
Okay, fine. Ricardo, thank you. Tomorrow night, Dom DeLuise, Edie Williams at 3 Degrees, and swindle expert Bob Rosevsky. Good night. My next guest will be appearing at the Sahara for 1 week from Christmas to New Year's. A heartwarming time for him to be there.
That's right.
To bring a little joy into everybody's
Santa
life
Claus.
at the holiday season. Would you welcome Mr. Warmth, Don Rickles?
I just took George in his car and told him where he was.
I got him out of here before you got out.
Oh, he was a sweet man. He went back. He said, Dan, Dan. I kicked him in the leg and he went away. He's a charming man. I'm going to put him in a home so he don't bother anybody.
George is very nice.
He's a sweet man.
Don't you just hope we get to be that age?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not. Well, you will because you have nothing on your mind. We all have responsibilities and family. You got $6 million to sit out the beach and go, another beer, Mary! And he's not even married to Mary. Joanna's the wife.
That's right.
Yeah. She wasn't at the affair last night. I hear the jewelry tarnished and she couldn't show up.
Well, it was going to be a long evening. She was a little tired, that's all.
Freddie doesn't laugh anymore since he knows the president-elect.
That's right. He's very
Just sits there going, I'm going to get rid of him and sit in the White House. All right, Mr. President, pass the beer.
How you feel, Ed?
Fine, thank you.
Spoke to Johnny. He's getting rid of you. Anyway, now that it's an hour, he feels he can do it all alone. He don't need you anymore. Sit on those big beer trucks going, ha, move him out, boys, move him out.
How you feeling tonight? Last night we did an affair together for Sammy Davis Jr. for the Friars. You had, and you still have a little bit of it, you had a very bad case of bronchitis, laryngitis?
Yeah, but how are you going to say to Sammy you can't show up? You know, they'll move into the neighborhood.
That's right.
But it's a little humor, I don't want to get 4 letters. I love the black people. I have Harry Goins, has been my black...
Been with you for a long time.
Yeah, 20... You want to buy him?
No.
Anyway, he's beautiful, and
I know,
we've been
Harry,
together
sure.
for some 22 years, and we love each other. And it was a great night for Sammy. It really was. And your monologue, I got to tell you, and then we won't be too nice anymore because it blows the whole image. Your monologue was magnificent. The one line, tell them the one line about the pick fair. I think that's a classic. If you
They
can
have
say-
to know the person I'm talking about.
You must tell them.
Jerry Buss, for example, is a very wealthy individual who owns the Lakers. I guess he owns World Team Tennis out here.
And the world.
Yeah, a very rich young man. And he just bought Mary Pickford and Buddy Rogers' home called Pick Fair. So I announced last night at the end of this affair for Sammy that I had an additional surprise for him from the Friars, that Jerry Buss was going to buy him and put him on his front lawn at Pick Fair. Those are the kind of lines you do.
And Sammy did a great thing. He walked out. No, not
You were
really,
funny.
not
You were funny last night. It was a good evening. All the
Well,
way
you know,
around.
it's so funny when we go to these dinners, and you and I discussed it. You know, you go to the dinners, and when it's a friend, as Sammy is, to all of us, you know, it's so tough because you got to sit there for hours and hours. You know, Mayor Bradley was up there making a speech, and Alhambra was on fire. He was saying, "I'd like to say, Sam," and 3 guys from engine companies came in with hoses. Mayor, Alhambra!
He got on the
Anyway,
mayor.
let me just give him the plaque, and then we'll get the hell out of here. You know.
You got on the mayor pretty funny last night.
Well, it was, he's a
Yes,
beautiful
he is.
guy. He really is. You know, it's great to see a mayor sit at the dais and tap dance while you're talking. You don't see that too often. I mean, he was a wonderful guy. He really is.
You know what I want to ask you about?
Surely.
Want to
That's
ask?
the whole idea. We're not going to sit here and stare at each other's outfits.
That's right. That is a cute outfit. As you get older, you start to go for the sports jacket and slacks. So.
And as you get older, you start to go for those Mickey Mouse suits.
What are you talking about?
Now, this is the toy Johnny Carson outfits that are made in Buffalo for $2. With the thin lapels and the cute little shirts, and in the back he has a fake dickie and there's no outfit. No fly, no front, just a little... Underneath he's wearing jeans and a dead cowboy suit.
A dead cowboy
Yeah,
suit?
well, they don't know.
Of course, I understand that. Never ask you what you mean.
We're not going to make this a question and answer.
That's
Hit the
right.
buzzer and win 2 trips to a luau. That's an
Now,
island.
you went to England, and you entertained for the royal family?
Shut up, Freddie. If you knew more than me, you'd be a guest. Anyway,
You don't see him over here.
No.
do you? That's right.
I love that. Ever since he did Bozo, he's drunk with power.
It's Bonzo.
Bonzo. Here's your Bonzo. Bonzo this. Bonzo. Bozo. It's the same darn thing. Bonzo. I don't follow apes. I'm a Jew. We own the whole zoo.
What do you know from one little
That's
ship?
right.
That's right. You went to England to entertain the royal family? Princess
Well,
Margaret?
it wasn't exactly that way, John.
Yeah.
What happened was Bob Hope, who was a personal friend of yours and mine.
Certainly.
Does he know you?
Yes, he knows quite.
Probably saw you on one of the floats. Anyway, as you can see, I got the Doc Holliday disease.
Yes. Consumption there.
Yeah, Vic Mature falling off the cab. Pow! Anyway, so we went to London with Bob Newhart, who was great because he takes care of the luggage and the passports. He keeps going, "You can come into the country." Anyway, and that's in England, and they talk like that because they're all from India. "Welcome to our country." Anyway, and they all got turbans on their head. "Mem Sahib, welcome to our country." And Margaret Thatcher is on the corner going, "Don't talk like that." Anyway, I give her a cookie and she goes away. She's really... Well, we had a wonderful time.
Tell us about it.
We went to the ambassadors and had a few drinks, which you don't drink anymore, and you don't drink anymore. May God give me a stroke if they don't drink. Anyway, so we went to the ambassadors, and Bob had a scotch, and I had my few vodkas, and we enjoyed. And then we did the gala. The opening night was the gala.
That's
It was
what it
4
was.
days of golf. My wife said, Barbara said to me, "Listen, we never get a chance. You never do these things. And you don't like those things. You don't like
No.
golf competition. I know that. Or bowling. Ed goes to anything. A dead moose hangout. Anything, you know. 2 falcons in heat on a road he shows up for, you know. But I don't usually do that. I'm very self-conscious about that. And my golf, you know, I love to play golf. And I'm not too good at golf.
You're terrible.
Right. Good. You didn't have to zap it in that strongly, but I am terrible. But I love it. It's the whole idea. I'm not in competitive competition. Boom. So I got to the golf course, and the punchline was 15,000 people are watching. We were up all night at Les Ambassadeurs, a wonderful club in London, with John Hill, who was like the Sydney... Is it John Hill?
John Mills.
John Mills, sorry. And he's like the Sydney Grinch. He'd go, we're going to have the pheasant under the duck. And Bob Newhart, who's a wasp from the Middle West, kept saying, do you have a Pepsi? I
gotta do a commercial? Yeah. I gotta do a commercial.
Sure, to keep that big estate going.
That's right.
So those hunting dogs don't die.
Now, I want to know, in the time we have left, how Princess Margaret reacted to you, not having probably known you and knowing your humor.
Well, what happened, in all fairness, Bob Hope presented me like, and as always, as you know, it's a custom for some reason, which I'm flattered by, and you've, and I've said this many, many times, you've been my ace in the hole, the guy that got me really rolling in this television world. And so they knew me from your show over in England. That's the truth. And Dean Martin's show. That's the two things they knew about me. And Bob said, and now, again, you know, at midnight, after everybody had 88 drinks, and all the British comics got up, and they're lovely, you know, Jimmy Tarbuck and Bruce Forsyth, and they said, and guys, and this is similar, exaggerating, went, and two guys went for an ale in a bucket, and set them on with a tuppence too, and a mother fell, and a queen fell, and a tuppence. Aho! 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 And I said, my hand to God, John, I said to my wife, I got to get a triple vodka. Get me anything. I'm not an alcoholic, but I need something. And Newhart had already been off, and Bob did his adorable thing, which he does. He does it so great, the telephone thing, which they can all communicate with.
Right.
And Bob said, and now a guy that's going to destroy you, and hey, is somebody going to destroy us, you know. So I walked out, and I said something about the Queen. I said, Your Majesty, forgive me, and blah, blah, blah. I said, look, how'd you get all the jewelry? How'd you get so rich? And blah, blah, blah. My mother's living in 2 rooms in Miami. You have a big house with a flagpole, and I'm getting fed up, and boom, you're sitting here laughing, and they're all going, aho, aho. And they keep checking with her to see if it's funny, you know. And she was sitting there quietly having her martini going, aho, aho. And the whole evening, everybody's going, aho, ho, 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 ho. So I didn't know where the hell I was. I kept going, aho, ho, ho. And Newhart kept saying, get the cab, get the cab. Punchline, show's over, we sit down, I said to my wife, as we all do, we have 3 of us being married, and the wives really have a lot to say. And my wife quietly said to me, absolutely good, just cool it. Just cool it, be relaxed, you did good. Boom, I said, Barbara, I'm so nervous. She said, forget it. Guy comes in and said, would you come and meet Her Majesty? Her Highness, she'd like to meet you. I said, who? What? Who she want to meet? And my wife said, it's us, dummy, it's us. Boom.
This is Princess Margaret.
Princess Margaret. And we walk over, and I say, Your Highness. And the first thing out of her mouth is, that's my sister. And I went, and I said, oh, pardon me. So we sat down, and it was only us.
Yeah.
And the Secret Service, their Scotland Yard, you know, and they all have white gloves and a lot of dickies that are popping up. And we sat down, and we had a lovely discussion, and she said, how's your mom? I said, how's your mom? And we discussed this, and we chit-chatted it, and I gave her a recipe for a Jewish message, and she said, really? And we did, how, and we walked away, and I said to Barbara, this broad's rich.
So they done you.
Really rich, and we had a ball.
That's wonderful. We'll be right back.